Welcome back to Boss School. How did you like that? It's back to school era, and we are also joining the back to school series. This time, it's the Boss School. My name is Sharon Miranda. I am a senior sales director with Mary Kay, and I'm so excited to bring you these series. It's going to be just 30 minutes of power so you can reset, refresh your Mary Kay business, and you can also power up this new seminar year. We are literally only starting out this new year, and you can do something different this year. You can grow, and I promise that also that the skills that you will learn in this Back to Boss School series will not only be valuable in Mary Kay, but I promise it's things that you will be able to implement in your everyday life, even outside of Mary Kay, that will bring just blessings to you. Okay, just life skills, things that I personally learned and has helped me. So we are going to be using our pink BootCamp manual, which was made by our national sales director, Auri Hatheway. She's so fabulous. But I am putting a little bit of a twist, a Sharon twist to it. I'm bringing a little bit more insight and a couple of things that I have found to be inspiring to me and that has helped me in my Mary Kay business. So let's get this show on the road. So our first class is emotional and time and money management. If you printed out this, if not, you're going to have it on the screen. I have divided this class because we only have 30 minutes into class 1A and class 1B. So today we're going to be doing class 1A, and we're going to be focusing more on the emotional and on the time management, because anything in life that you want to do, you have to really have your emotions in check, and you have to have your time management in check, right? You have to kind of learn at least. I was not good at this before Mary Kay, but you have to kind of learn how to run a tight ship when you only have 24 hours in the day and you have big boss goals, right? Because I'm going to tell you, you are on here, okay, taking this 30-minute class virtually when most people are not doing anything to help them grow. Most people are probably scrolling on social media, or they're watching something on Netflix or some other app. But you're here, so you are not the ordinary. So let's continue to grow, and let's see what else can we do to be extraordinary. Okay, so the very first thing that I want to show you is this. So if you have this printed out, okay, you can follow along, you can write your notes and all that stuff. But I want to just make sure if somebody can let me know that you can see this on the screen. It says class 1, emotional management. Yes, my Joanne Ortega, you can come on or let me know. Yes, but you see it small. Okay, so let's see if we can see it bigger. Is that better? Okay, that's better. Okay, as long as you can see it, that's the most important part. So, emotional management, guys, we are emotional beings. We are so emotional, and we take a lot of things personal when most of the things are not personal. There's nothing, most of the stuff has nothing to do with us, right? But we live in Western civilization. Everything is me, 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 how I feel. And we feel like the world revolves around us, and we take everything so personal, and it hurts our feelings. But for the majority of the cases, it has nothing to do with us, and most of the things that hurt us are things that we can't even control. So when it comes to business, emotions are important, but really are like it's a love and hate relationship. So we have an emotional cycle as human beings. This is how God has made us, wired us, and we're all this way. And it is normal for everyone. So, for example, anytime that you start anything new, so for example, one day you signed your Mary Kay agreement and you were super excited. You were excited. It was something new. You're like, oh my goodness, right? It's like when you go to the gym. I signed up for the gym. You're like, oh, yes, I'm excited, right? And then you go and you start your Mary Kay business and you make those first phone calls, and then your cousin who you thought was going to support you was like, girl, I don't like Mary Kay, or I don't do that, no, don't count with me. And you're like, what? Right? It was like that excitement went like somebody popped your balloon. Same thing at the gym. You go and then you feel inadequate, You start comparing yourself to other people that may be more fit just because they've been there longer, or maybe everything hurts and it's difficult and you get frustrated. So there's a point where from excitement, it is totally normal for something to kind of burst your bubble, but you are stronger than that, right? People that are successful know how to overcome that frustration. Those that are not successful are those who get stuck on that emotion, right? That we feel sad, we feel kind of like offended, we feel like, ugh, like I'm not good enough. When you get stuck and you don't learn how to overcome that, that's when a lot of people are not successful, or you see that people jump from one thing to the next. They never commit. They never commit because they don't learn how to manage that emotion. But that emotion is normal. Okay, so we feel discouraged after that. But what happens that when you learn how to push through, even if you don't feel like it, but you push through and you start seeing, you get a yes, someone shows up and supports you, right? Or maybe you're at the gym and you like stuck through and it's 2 weeks and you've lost 3 pounds. You're like, oh, hold on, you feel better, right? You learn how to stick through it and you recommit to the goal. So we have to learn that emotions are normal and there are going to be bad emotions, but we need to learn that our dreams and our goals and our actions have to go above. Like, you have to detach at some point and learn that maybe I don't feel like going to the gym today, maybe I don't feel like making a phone call, but my goals are dependent on that, and it does not matter how I feel. Those who are successful are committed to the action. Okay, so you're not committed to the emotion, and you're actually not even committed to the result, because when I make phone calls, I cannot control what the person is going to say. I can only control making the phone call and asking or offering. That's the only thing that I offer that I can control. So I'm committed to the action. I detach myself from my results, okay? And from the emotion when someone says no. I have to learn. But how do you learn that? By putting yourself in that uncomfortable position, by receiving the no's, by understand, like, you have to live it. You can't, it's like when you have a small child. I don't want my children to hurt. I don't want them to fall. I don't want them to get cut. But they have to learn. I can't be all my life like, oh my god, like a like a little bubble, right? So because they have to learn, they have to get tough, right? So it's the same thing for us. We have to go through those trials so we can learn how to pivot, how to manage it better, and how to be tougher. And then the thing is that when you continue doing that, the numbers will show results for themselves, and then you get excited again. So that is kind of like the emotional cycle that we all go through. You are not by yourself, is what I want you to say. Want you to know. If I were to let all of you speak here, I'm sure that we all would have some terrifying story about our Mary Kay business. We would have like some mega frustration, right, to like hash out. But it's and it's important, that it's not only you. Okay, we all go through it. Like, I go through it. Okay. All right. So the number one common denominator of all successful business owners is determination. It's determination. It's getting from that excitement all the way back to excitement again. But there are some trials in between. Okay. And that's normal in life, in Mary Kay and outside of Mary Kay, and anything that you do. So there are two rules for success. Number one, start. Start. Don't ever wait to be perfect. Don't ever wait to know everything. Start. Start. Anything in life, in and out, like I told you, in and outside of Mary Kay, just start. You want to write a book? Write the first sentence. Write the title. Write what you got so far. If you're like, what? Right? And I'm talking to myself, and I know Mimi's looking at me like, oh, she is preaching to herself. Mimi. Oh my God, Mimi. I love this lady. And number two is don't stop. Don't stop, even if you get frustrated, discouraged, and and sad, or you feel bad, or you feel like, oh, don't stop regardless of how you feel. And that's why we always want to communicate up and not to the side or down. We never talk to people who are not in our shoes, never been in our shoes. We never to talk to someone who's going through the same thing. We talk to people who have already been there and can give you the tips and can guide you because they've already been there, done that, and were able to come out of it. Okay. So that being said, that's why events are so important, because it's in these events that we hear stories that then we're like, oh my gosh, yes, that happened to me. But you see them, they've already been through that, and they've come out wiser, and we learn from these people. So we have events where that inspire you, where you learn from others, and where you also can inspire and people can learn from you. So we have weekly events, we have monthly events, and we have quarterly events. Okay, so weekly events are your success meetings, Monday Night Live. We have in person. We just started in person. I'm so excited. If you are part of our Pink Elite family and Faith Over Fear unit in Connecticut, you have in person events on Tuesdays. So there are in-person opportunities. Okay, so in Claremont, Florida, Monday Night Live is from 7 to 9. For now, we also have a virtual option for those who live too far or just can't make it. But we have virtual MNL Zoom with our entire national area on Mondays too, and that's 7:30 facials, 8 o'clock training. So you have options, okay? And then Wednesdays we'll have these. So on Wednesdays we have our Wednesday Zoom, okay? So you can come and see me in person on Monday, and we can work together in person on Mondays, and then we connect on Wednesdays virtually. Monthly, we have several events. We have our Club Pink, which is always an amazing national sales director that pours into us. This is an event that you do have to earn. There are like 4 ways of earning it. It's not difficult to earn, but it is an event where leaders rise, they earn it, and they are poured into. And that always happens in the beginning of the month. And then we are having our Spanish Pink Rally in person. Normally it's in Orlando. Those can vary, but it's normally in Orlando, and that's also a monthly event. So if you want to grow your business in the Spanish market, we have a Spanish Pink Rally meeting every single month. Okay, quarterly. Let's talk about this. This is every 3 months. We have Fall Advance. That's our retreat. That's the next one coming up. I'm very excited. Okay, that's always going to be either October or November every single year. Then we have Leadership, and that's in January. That's in January. That is for sales directors and up. Okay, so if you have leadership on your heart, you're more than welcome to come join us at Leadership. We have Career Conference either between March or April, and that normally is either local or at a neighboring city. All right. And then we have Seminar, which is our biggest event. It's our big celebration after an entire seminar year, and that's always in Dallas, and it's either July or August. Okay, so we have these events in place for a reason. Why? Because we know that you're human, and that everybody that's coming in here on MNL is at some point of that emotional cycle. That's why we say that sometimes the meeting needs you, and sometimes you need the meeting. And I want you to know that I'm going to be very transparent. Your sales director is in some point of that same cycle. Okay, we may not show it as well, but we are also. So this is something. It's a collaboration. It's a place where we come and gather, and I always walk out more inspired and more committed at my events or at my meetings. Okay. All right, so let's do some top tips with MK Wisdom. All right, so this is about this business, how it kind of works. This is a mathematical business. It is not a magical business. Okay, so nobody can be cuter. Nobody can be more special. Nobody is better looking. Nobody is just blessed more. No, nobody is better than you. You are you. And everybody has the same opportunity as long as they work the numbers. So learn to work the numbers so you can take the emotion out. I heard something that I absolutely loved at Club Pink, this last Club Pink, and she said, I learned how to really commit to working my numbers, because when you work the numbers, you control your emotions. When you work the numbers, you control your emotions. When you're like all frustrated, you have no peace in your life, you don't know if you're going to quit Mary Kay tomorrow, normally it's because you have not worked the numbers recently. you haven't done a facial, you haven't made a booking call, and it does not give you any stability. You feel all over the place. So when you do work the numbers, I promise that it will help you control your emotions. For example, 1 out of 5 people will say yes to hosting for you. So instead of being frustrated by the 4 no's, remind yourself that each no takes you to the next yes. So you may not be asking enough people. So if I want 2 people to say yes, I need to ask at least 10, right? Don't take it personally. When you get a no, don't take it personally. Okay. She is rejecting the offer. She is not rejecting you, the person. Okay. So, like an example, if I offer everybody here that's on the Zoom a piece of gum, there may be 1 or 2 of you that say no to me. You don't like gum. Is it because you don't like me? No, you just don't like the gum. Okay. Applaud and don't compare. Comparison robs you of joy. I want you to know that you have been, like, intrinsically, is that how you say it? I don't know, but perfectly wired by God, specifically you. Like, he has deposited things that I don't have in you and you don't have in me. So don't compare, don't fall in the trap. And with social media today, everybody only puts highlights, my friend. Don't compare with people's highlights. Like, that's so hard. Instead of comparing yourself to your Mary Kay sisters, applaud them. Learn to celebrate the accomplishments and the peers, regardless of how you feel about your results. Your sisters are proof that when they can make it, you can also do it. Okay. Create a space that inspires you, create a goal poster. Remember your dreams, your why. Like, do you, right now, on a daily basis, do you visually, physically can see your dreams? Like, where do you have them? Do you have them on a poster? Do you have them somewhere? Do you have a picture of them in your car? You know, when you feel discouraged, you can reference to them. What music are you listening to? Right? What affirmations? I have been really lately been very intentional of listening to just only positive things or things that make me grow or I learn something, instead of like defaulting to social media or to some TikTok or some whatever. Okay. I'm not saying that I don't go there. I do go there to work my business, but I've been trying not to scroll. Like, I don't want to be that. Right. Um, the path to success is a ladder. There's no elevator. You have to climb the ladder. It's one step at a time. Just focus on that one step. Keep your vision at the top of the ladder, but focus on just the next step. Don't get overwhelmed with the just like, okay, this is my big picture. That's why we break down our goals into little steps. So that way you can be patient with yourself and also consistent. And what you see rests upon what you're looking for. Are you hoping you have luck and that you find the right people to have a successful business, or are you skilling up and reaching out consistently, right? Are you hoping to sell, book, and recruit, or are you expecting it, right? Are you working out of faith or out of fear? Are you working out of faith? Are you calling and expecting that someone will say yes? Are you talking to the lady at the grocery store knowing that she will say yes because you have the best thing to offer, which is a free Mary Kay facial? Okay. All right. So those are just some tips of wisdom. Now, time management. I want you to know that when people say, and this was me, I don't have enough time. I don't have time. I don't have time. That is a lie, and you're the only one believing it. Okay. Every week, every person, nobody in the world has more hours in the day than you. You have the same 168 hours every week that everybody has. That's 40. Okay, that's 24 hours a week. So if you break down the 168 hours that we have in the week, right? So normally 42 hours we will spend driving, commuting, eating, family, getting ready, etc. Right? Then normally people will work a 40-hour week. Some people will work a little bit less or a little bit more, but on average, right? And then you have 56 hours of sleeping, right? So you really have like 30 hours in the week left. What are you doing with the extra that God has given you? What are you doing with the extra that God has given you? If you divide that by 7 days out of the week, that's around roughly an extra 4 hours in a day, an extra 4 hours of day. How are you spending those extra 4 hours? Imagine just taking 30 minutes, 30 minutes to an hour of reading a book every day, consistently. How much would you learn? How much more knowledge would you have of just different things, right? Maybe spending 30 minutes of booking, and then it's just that we have the time, we're just not being good stewards of the time. We have enough time to make your dreams work. So Mary Kay has an amazing resource called the Weekly Plan Sheet. And this is how we help you. And this is how I know, this is what I was taught, okay, 12 years ago, how to make Mary Kay fit into my lifestyle. Because I work Mary Kay full time now, but for my first 2 years, Mary Kay was my part time. I had a 40+ hour job. Okay, so I can teach you how to work this. I know what it is to work it with a full time and how to work it with no time. I mean, with all the time. Okay. Mary Kay Ash said that most people don't fail, they just fail to plan. Okay. The weekly plan sheet is a tool for you to design your week with intention. So it's kind of like you're designing that ideal week. It allows you to have clarity regarding your available time to do income producing activities. Okay. So we may have 4 hours, but like you can spend 4 hours watching Netflix and making no money, or you can spend it doing income producing activities. So, what are income producing activities? Those are the activities that eventually you invest your time and there can be a result at the end of growth financially. Okay. So, for example, parties, organizing your office. Parties is obviously you're making money. Organizing your office, probably important. You don't want a crazy office, but organizing your office does not leave you any money. So that's something that you can do after 9 p.m. when it's too late to call people, or really early in the morning when it's too early to call people. But in the smack of the day, you really shouldn't be spending your 4 hours, classifying your database of clients. Okay. Inventory label products doesn't leave you any money. Important, yes, but not during people time, which is 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Follow up calls, yes, that can leave you money. That's income producing activity. Share appointments where you're talking about the Mary Kay opportunity, of course, that also leaves you money. Okay, booking calls leave you money. Facials, you guys get the gist, right? So we have this example of a weekly plan sheet where we color code. I did this with Gianna, my daughter, my daughter and my son actually do this, and we color code our week. Okay, we're doing this as a habit now. We're learning before the week starts. Okay, so normally we actually do it on Sundays, but this is my new schedule with the new school year, and it's cray cray. Okay, so I listed what should be happening, and it's Wednesday, and I will tell you that it has not gone perfectly as planned. And it's only been 3 days in. That will happen. It's okay. Give yourself grace and just get back on track. Okay. Because I promise that things will not always go perfectly. But if you do this, you're at least going to be more on track than ever if you didn't do it. Okay. So what we do is that we take the example on the screen. It's the full week and we color code. And in Mary Kay, we teach you to um, to fill it in according to our Mary Kay principle, which is God first, family second, career third. So if you look on the bottom of the screen, there is a key. So yellow is God, orange is family, red is date, right? If you do want to spend some time, I was like trying to find some time for Jonathan. I was like, oh, I found 2 spots, but that's important for those who are married, okay? Income producing activities is in green because you're going to make money. Pink is MK training. So, for example, when you come on Mondays, this right here, you're on this training. This is pink time on your schedule. Blue is for your job, okay? And purple is your personal time. So this is how mine looks right now. You can see Sundays there's a lot of church and family time. I normally don't work, but you can see my green. Okay, my yellow is all the way up here. That's my God time. I like to start with my God time. I like to start my day aligned with my priorities, and then I have my family. So I know that I have to work these green times very, very intentional. It helps me be more intentional. Okay. So um you have a copy of this that you can print out so you can work on this. Okay, you can work on this already and be intentional with your time, and then you can actually, because sometimes we feel like we're so busy because we have all these commitments and all these things that we do every day, because we do a lot, guys. I know that you guys are busy people. Like, you guys are busy people. I have to respect that. But sometimes if we don't take the time to do this, because it happens to me, I have all these like things floating and I'm like, I feel like I have no time. But when you physically write it out and you see it, you can visually see where you can squeeze in your Mary Kay. And then you'll be more intentional, okay? More intentional. All right, so let's talk about now another resource that's amazing. It's the 6 most important things to do list, okay? Ever finished your day tired of doing and doing, but feel like haven't accomplished anything that brings you closer to your goal? I've been there, right? So the 6 most important things to do list is another way of prioritizing and being a great time manager. It's when before you go to bed tonight, you're going to write what are the 6 most important things to do that need to get done, okay, tomorrow that will help me achieve my goals, that will help me grow financially, that will help me grow my team, whatever your goals are, okay? So for example, this is an example. Number one, you should have who are you going to book tomorrow? Who are you calling when you take those 15 minutes of booking? Okay, don't waste your time tomorrow trying to figure out who you're going to call. That's a waste of time. You're not being a good steward of your time. You're not being as intentional or effective. Do that list tonight so that way you're on it, okay? Number two, which clients can you follow up with? What appointment do I need to coach? Maybe you have a facial, maybe you have a party booked, you need to coach your hostess. Who can I share the Mary Kay opportunity with? Who on my team needs support? And the other things could be minutes administration, the non-income producing activities. So these are just examples of things that you can have on your 6 most important things to do list. Okay, 6 most important things to do list. Now, um, let me tell you that when you are more intentional, not only do you control your emotions, when you're being better at time management, you're being more of a better steward, you're feeling better, but you are going to see results, you're going to see growth, okay? What are some other things that we can do besides Mary Kay wisdom tips that we have on our um, document? I looked up some that I really liked. So these are some helpful tips that I am going to adopt. And it's first, use your mornings wisely. How can you be a better steward of your time? Use your mornings wisely. Do you have to get up earlier? Could you get up 30 minutes before? Could you get up an hour before? Can you use your time wisely to deposit in yourself first? Like spend time. My mornings are my God time, meditation. I read the Bible. I pray. I feel a lot like I start my day aligned with my priorities. So I feel like I'm not cheating myself and I'm not being I'm just being true to really who I want to be, right? And who I be. Assess how, and also another thing that you can do is really think about how has God gifted you? What are the talents that you have? And when you're creating your timesheet, when you're creating this and you see the time, it's like, okay, if God has gifted me with these talents, how am I even spending time developing them? Am I growing them or am I even sharing them with the world? So then you can maybe, assess what has God given me and how can I give it more? And this is also going to help you find those spots so you feel like you are really doing that God mission, that God work, okay? Um, be a better planner. This is again an example of how we plan. Another tip is eliminate unhealthy distractions. What is distracting you? You know that what you hear trains you. What you hear trains you. Are you listening to positive things? Are you listening to things that help you grow? What are your distractions? Or is it Netflix? Is it social media? Are you constantly just it's so easy to get trapped in social media. It's crazy. Like it happens to me all I've like caught myself. I'm like, no. Like no. You know, 15 minutes have gone by of just me going like this. You know? So eliminate those distractions. What can you do to eliminate and be like a thoroughbred, right? And just look at what you need to get done. And learn to say no. Learn to say no. Because when you say yes, every time you say yes to one thing, you're automatically saying no to another. Okay. So when you say yes to something, you're saying no to another thing. So learn what do you have to say no and yes to that align with your ultimate goal. I heard about the dot and the line, and we normally live on the dot, focused on the dot, which is like my now, my today. How do I feel today? Like, this is how I feel, my emotions today. This is what I have to do to survive today. But when you focus and you're only focused on yourself, it's me, 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 me. But when you focus on a line, your decisions are made based on tomorrow, your future, and how you impact others. So we want to live focused on the line and not the dot. Okay, so you are a line thinker. What you do impacts your family, impacts those around you, impacts your future. What you do today will impact where you're at 5 years from now. Okay, what you do today impacts your future. So it's really important that we be line thinkers, okay? And know that what you do today, remember that we are going to want to do a lot of things and we want to be perfect, but this is a habit. This time management, this planning is a habit. It's a change of lifestyle. It's not going to be perfect. Give yourself some grace, but know that when you work on yourself and you're just better of 5, 10% each and every day, but you do it daily, daily. It's that one drop of water that hits the rock daily, daily, day after day will eventually make a hole on the rock. So that's what you want to do, is consistently do these changes, okay? So I want to leave you with something that I absolutely loved, because I want you to know that we do have time. We do have that time to work on our dreams, our goals, to make healthier habits and be line thinkers and be better examples for those who surround us. Okay. So I just want to leave you with this. And then with this, we will close.
It drives me crazy when people say they don't have enough time to go to the gym for 45 minutes a day and work out, or to do something for 45 minutes to an hour a day to improve, if it is physically improve or if it is mentally to improve. Imagine you read 1 hour a day about history. How much you will learn after.
If you're not making $158,000 per year, but you'd like to,
Gracie,
I strongly
nothing will
encourage
be
you
perfect,
to start.
but we will continue.
365 hours in 1 year. Think about if you study about the history of musicians, of composers, how much you would know. Imagine if you would work on a business, on some business that you want to develop every day for an hour. Imagine how further along you will go and get. So it drives me nuts, because when people say we don't have the time, we have 24 hours a day. We sleep 6 hours a day, so it gives you still 18 hours. So there's someone shaking their head out here in front. They say probably, I don't sleep 6 hours, I sleep 8 hours, right? But just sleep faster. So we have 18 hours a day. The average person works around 8 to 10 hours. So let's assume it's 10 hours. So we have 8 hours left. Then you travel around an hour a day, maybe 2 hours a day. So now you have still 6 hours left. So what do you do with the 6 hours? What do you do with the 6 hours? Then we eat a little bit. Then we schmooze a little bit. Talk a little bit to people and all that stuff. But you can see how much time there is available if you organize your day. So you got to work hard. I mean, let me tell you something. When I went to America, I went to college. I went and worked out 5 hours a day. And I was working on construction. Because in those days in bodybuilding, there was no money. I didn't have the money for food supplements or anything. So I had to go to work. So I worked in construction. I went to college. I worked out in the gym, and at night from 8 o'clock at night to 12 midnight, I went to acting class 4 times a week. So I did all that There was not one single minute that I wasted. And this is why I'm standing here today.
So we have been called by God to be stewards of our time. I want you to know that you are the richest person ever and you don't even know it. Every single day, God deposits 24 hours into your bank account of time. It is our most precious commodity because I want to tell you that we don't know if tomorrow we will be here. Life waits for no one. And I want to let you know that no one is coming to tell you to get out of the bed. No one's telling you to go work out, and nobody's going to go to your door and knock and say, make those booking calls. It is personal responsibility, and we have to use our fullest potential and all of the time that we can to not only honor our businesses and everything, but to honor the person who gives it to us, which is God. And you have so many talents and so many dreams. And I would hate for those to go, into like when we die to the grave with us, because it's important for you to share with others. So let's use the 24 hours. That bank starts fresh every day, 24 hours into your bank of time. But if you waste it, it's gone, it's not coming back. And if you don't use it all, guess what? You lost whatever was there. There's no balance that's rolling over. It's fresh every day as your opportunities are. So I will see you next time on class 1B for financial management. Thank you so much for being on for this first class. Bye.